Have you ever stopped to think about what it truly means to be one of God's chosen ones? What does it take for someone to be singled out by the divine, to be called for a higher purpose that goes beyond ordinary life? Is being chosen something that is set in stone from birth, or is it a journey that unfolds naturally as one walks through the experiences of life? These are questions that have fascinated spiritual seekers, mystics, and philosophers for centuries, drawing people to explore the mysteries of faith, purpose, and divine will. The idea of being chosen has always held a sense of wonder and awe, a recognition that some individuals are set apart to carry out sacred tasks, to serve as channels of divine light, wisdom, and guidance. Today, we are going to explore this fascinating concept, uncovering how God chooses the chosen ones and revealing 7 divine secrets that may not have been widely known or understood before. These secrets are not just abstract ideas. They are keys that can illuminate your spiritual journey and deepen your understanding of what it means to live in alignment with God's purpose. If you stay with this exploration till the end, you may find that your perspective on your own life, your spiritual path, and your connection to the divine is profoundly transformed, opening doors to insights and awareness that could change the way you perceive your existence forever. As we begin, let us reflect on the words of the mystic Master Eckhart, who once said, "The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. My eye and God's eye are one eye, one seeing, one knowing, one love." This statement is profound and invites deep contemplation. It hints at a mysterious, intimate, and unbroken connection between the divine and those who are chosen. To be chosen is not about meeting external standards, achieving certain accolades, or conforming to particular expectations. Rather, it is about a personal and spiritual alignment, a resonance between your soul and the divine source. Being chosen is about the depth of your inner connection, about how your spirit vibrates in harmony with the eternal wisdom and love of God. It is an intimate relationship that transcends ordinary understanding, a knowing that exists beyond intellect, ego, or social validation. This connection is not something that can be seen with the eyes or measured with human metric. It is felt deep within the heart, in the subtle whispers of intuition, in moments of clarity, or in the silent guidance that seems to arise from nowhere, yet feels undeniably real. To understand how God chooses the chosen ones, we must first grasp this fundamental nature of being chosen. It is not favoritism, luck, or chance. It is not a reward or punishment, and it is not about being better than anyone else. It is about being uniquely aligned and receptive to God's purpose and divine will. Being chosen by God is ultimately about alignment. It is about reaching a state where your soul is in harmony with the divine and open to fulfilling a specific purpose that only you are suited for. This alignment cannot be forced or artificially created. It occurs naturally when your inner self resonates with the higher energies of the universe. When this resonance happens, a person becomes a vessel for divine grace, wisdom, and love. They are chosen not because they are superior to others, but because their soul is prepared and capable of carrying out a sacred mission in a way that others cannot. This alignment opens the door for divine guidance to flow through them, allowing them to walk a path that is guided by love, insight, and spiritual purpose. The alignment itself is often subtle, yet unmistakable for those who are paying attention to the quiet voice within. It manifests as a sense of knowing, a feeling that there is more to life than the routine, the mundane, or the surface-level experiences of the world. Can emerge during moments of reflection, during times of struggle, or even in times of great joy when life feels profoundly meaningful. This alignment is the very foundation on which the journey of the chosen ones is built, and it is what enables them to respond fully and consciously to the call that comes from the divine. The first secret of how God chooses the chosen ones is that it begins with what can be called a call to the heart. This call is not always dramatic or loud, like a booming voice from the heavens. Instead, it is often a quiet, subtle stirring within the soul that gently nudges a person towards something greater than themselves. It is an inner awakening, an undeniable feeling that there is a purpose to life that is waiting to be discovered, a higher path that calls for attention and devotion. The call to the heart can emerge in many different ways. For some, it may arise during moments of joy, when the beauty and wonder of life spark a longing for something deeper. For others, it may appear during times of pain, struggle, or loss, when ordinary experiences feel insufficient and the soul begins to search for meaning and understanding. This call may present itself as a deep sense of longing, a yearning that cannot be ignored, a persistent curiosity about life, the universe, or the mysteries that lie beyond the material world. In some cases, it manifests as a sudden recognition that one's current life or path is unfulfilling, prompting a search for something more substantial, more aligned with the soul's deeper purpose. What makes this call truly unique is that it resonates within the very core of the heart. It is not motivated by external rewards such as fame, money, or recognition. Rather, it is driven by an inner knowing that there is a higher mission to pursue, a purpose that is sacred and personal, and that the soul longs to fulfill. This inner call is the first sign that someone may be among the chosen ones, setting in motion a journey that will shape the rest of their life in profound and meaningful ways. Not everyone who experiences this inner call responds to it. Many people may sense the presence of this divine invitation but choose to ignore it. They may be afraid of the unknown, uncertain about their own abilities, or overwhelmed by the demands and distractions of everyday life. Others may be hesitant because the call challenges their comfort zones or the familiar routines they have grown accustomed to. However, for the chosen ones, this call cannot be easily dismissed. It continues to echo within them, growing louder and more insistent with time. It creates a sense of urgency, a pull that cannot be ignored, and eventually compels them to act, to seek out the path that has been divinely laid before them. Responding to this call requires courage, faith, and a willingness to step into uncertainty. It demands trust in the unseen, the intangible, and the guidance of the divine. This initial response is not only a pivotal moment, but also the beginning of a lifelong journey, one that is filled with lessons, growth, and spiritual awakening. Answering the call often brings unexpected changes to life, opening doors to new experiences, relationships, and opportunities that were previously unimaginable. It may also lead to encounters with mentors, guides, or others who provide insight, encouragement, and wisdom, helping the chosen one to navigate the path ahead. At times, it may seem as though the universe conspires to confirm the presence of the call through meaningful coincidences, synchronicities, or events that align perfectly with the soul's journey. Each of these experiences serves as a gentle reassurance that the chosen one is on the right path, that the guidance received is authentic, and that they are moving closer to fulfilling their divine mission. A key aspect of this journey is the role of free will. It is crucial to understand that the call to the heart respects the freedom of the individual. God does not force anyone to accept the role of the chosen one. The call is always an invitation, a gentle encouragement to explore a spiritual path and open oneself to a higher purpose. The decision to respond is always entirely up to the individual. This freedom ensures that the choice to follow the path of the chosen one comes from the purity of the heart, out of love, devotion, and a genuine desire to serve rather than obligation, fear, or desire for personal gain. Those who accept the call do so willingly, motivated by an inner drive to align with the divine and to fulfill the greater purpose for which they were created. This conscious choice is one of the defining characteristics of the chosen ones. It is their willingness to step forward, to trust in the unseen, and to embrace their destiny that separates them from those who may simply hear the call but remain hesitant or unconvinced. By choosing to follow the call, they demonstrate the strength, purity, and depth of their soul, committing themselves to a path of service, spiritual growth, and alignment with divine will. Once the call to the heart has been acknowledged and accepted, the journey of the chosen one truly begins. This journey is rarely easy. It is often marked by challenges, tests, and obstacles that demand resilience, patience, and perseverance. Yet those who are chosen are never left to navigate this path alone. Divine guidance is ever present, offering wisdom, protection, and support to help them fulfill their sacred purpose. This guidance may appear in many forms, sometimes as intuitive insights or sudden realizations that provide clarity and direction. At other times, it may come in the form of dreams, visions, or symbolic messages that require reflection and discernment. Guidance can also arrive through the words of mentors, spiritual teachers, or even strangers who provide unexpected advice or encouragement at exactly the right moment. Occasionally, it manifests as an inner sense of peace and assurance, a quiet knowing that confirms the chosen one is on the correct path, even in times of uncertainty or challenge. Cultivating an openness to this guidance is essential. Chosen ones must develop a strong connection with their inner selves, learning to trust the subtle nudges, intuitive flashes, and gentle impulses that the divine places within their hearts. Practices such as prayer, meditation, reflection, and contemplation become indispensable tools, helping to maintain alignment with the divine and ensuring the soul remains receptive to the wisdom and love that flows from higher realms. The journey of the chosen one is both a path of discovery and a process of transformation. Every step along the way is an opportunity to deepen the connection with the divine, to refine the soul, and to align more fully with the higher purpose for which one has been chosen. Life may present trials and tests, but these are not arbitrary hardships. They are essential elements of the journey designed to strengthen character, deepen spiritual understanding, and prepare the chosen one to fulfill their divine mission. Each challenge is an invitation to trust more deeply, to surrender fears, and to cultivate faith in the unseen guidance of God. By embracing these lessons, the chosen one grows in wisdom, resilience, and spiritual awareness, becoming not only a vessel for divine purpose, but also a beacon of light, guidance, and inspiration for others who may cross their path. As the chosen ones move forward on their sacred journey, they begin to notice the signs of divine guidance more clearly. At first, these signs may appear small or subtle, often easy to overlook or dismiss as coincidence. They might appear as gentle nudges in the mind, moments of intuition, dreams that carry meaning, or feelings of certainty about a particular direction that they need to take. Over time, however, the chosen ones start to recognize that these signals are consistent and purposeful, guiding them toward their higher calling. They begin to trust in this process even when it does not make sense logically or seems contrary to what the world around them might suggest. They come to understand that there is a force greater than themselves, a force that sees the whole picture of their lives and knows exactly what is best for them, not only for their own growth but also for the greater good of the world. This awareness brings a sense of peace and trust, as they realize that their journey is not random but carefully guided by the divine, orchestrated in a way that leads them to fulfill their true purpose. Learning to rely on this guidance requires patience, faith, and a willingness to surrender, for there will inevitably be moments when the path feels unclear, uncertain, or even frightening. Yet the chosen ones gradually learn that by following this inner guidance, even through moments of confusion or difficulty, they are moving toward experiences, relationships, and opportunities that align with their spiritual mission and their deepest soul calling. The second divine secret in understanding how God chooses the chosen ones is the purification process. This process is one of the most essential and yet most misunderstood aspects of being chosen. Purification is not about simply following rules or trying to be morally correct. It is a deep spiritual transformation that prepares the soul for the mission it is meant to fulfill. When a person responds to the call of the heart, they embark on this purification journey, a path that asks them to release layers of fear, ego, attachment, and old emotional patterns that have accumulated over the years. These layers act like clouds, blocking the light of the soul and preventing it from shining fully and freely. The purpose of the purification process is to gradually remove these clouds, allowing the soul to radiate its true light with clarity, authenticity, and purity. This process is not always easy. It can be challenging, intense, and at times uncomfortable because it requires the chosen ones to confront their deepest fears, insecurities, and unresolved emotional wounds. These hidden aspects of themselves may include limiting beliefs, negative thought patterns, past traumas, or emotions that they have suppressed for many years. During purification, these buried elements of the self are brought to the surface, not to cause suffering, but to be healed, understood, and transformed. An important part of purification is the practice of letting go. The chosen ones are asked to release anything that no longer serves their highest purpose. This might include old habits that keep them stuck, relationships that drain them emotionally, fears that limit their growth, or beliefs that no longer align with the truth of their being. Letting go is rarely simple or easy. It requires courage, patience, and deep trust in the divine. But this step is crucial because only by releasing what is no longer useful can the chosen ones create space for divine wisdom, spiritual gifts, and clarity to emerge within their lives. As they progress through this process, they begin to notice a growing sense of peace, alignment, and clarity. They feel more in touch with their inner guidance, more capable of distinguishing the subtle voice of the divine from the distractions and demands of the ego. It is this process of purification that enables them to step fully into their role as a chosen one, moving forward with confidence, authenticity, and a deep sense of purpose. The purification process is often supported and accelerated by life's challenges and trials. These experiences are not punishments or tests designed to make life unnecessarily difficult. Instead, they serve as mirrors, reflecting the areas of the self that need attention, healing, or release. For example, a chosen one may encounter a challenging relationship that brings up feelings of unworthiness, fear of abandonment, or insecurity. While these experiences can be painful in the moment, they provide an opportunity to face and heal these wounds, to emerge stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. Similarly, they might experience financial difficulties, career setbacks, or other forms of scarcity, which require them to confront fears about security, trust, and abundance. These challenges encourage reliance on divine provision and help them develop patience, humility, and perseverance. Though these trials are not easy, they are essential for spiritual purification, stripping away attachments, illusions, and fears that obscure the true light of the soul. Through these experiences, the chosen ones learn to rely on their inner strength, deepen their connection with the divine, and cultivate virtues that are necessary for their sacred mission. The third divine secret in understanding how God selects the chosen ones is the awakening of spiritual gifts. These gifts are unique abilities given by the divine to support the chosen ones in fulfilling their higher purpose. While all humans have spiritual potential, the chosen ones often possess special abilities that are heightened or uniquely aligned with their mission. These gifts can take many forms. Some may have the gift of healing, the ability to channel divine energy to bring physical, emotional, or spiritual restoration to others. Others may have the gift of prophecy, receiving visions, insights, or understanding about future events that can guide themselves and others with divine wisdom. Some may possess the gift of discernment, the ability to see beyond appearances and recognize the deeper spiritual reality behind people, situations, or events. The awakening of these gifts is closely connected to the purification process. As the chosen ones release ego, fear, and attachment, these abilities that were once dormant begin to emerge fully. They are inherent powers that have always existed but required the proper inner conditions to manifest. The awakening of spiritual gifts can be a powerful and sometimes overwhelming experience. The chosen ones may suddenly notice energies, thoughts, emotions, or subtle insights that they were previously unaware of. They may receive visions, messages, or intuitive guidance that challenges their understanding of reality and expands their awareness in ways that feel both exciting and disorienting. Learning to manage these new abilities and incorporate them into daily life requires patience, practice, and discernment. It is essential for the chosen ones to understand that these gifts are not meant for personal gain or ego satisfaction. They are tools entrusted by the divine to serve others, to support the mission of uplifting, healing, and guiding those around them. Once awakened, these gifts must be nurtured and developed over time. Like any skill, they require practice, dedication, and sometimes guidance from teachers, mentors, or supportive communities. A healer may need to study various methods of channeling energy safely and effectively, learning how to maintain balance while working with others. A prophet may need to practice discernment to distinguish between divine messages and personal thoughts, fears, or desires. A leader may need to cultivate wisdom and integrity, learning how to guide others with compassion and clarity. Even those deeply connected to their gifts will find that there is always more to learn, more ways to grow, and more opportunities to serve. This ongoing development is an integral part of the journey of the chosen ones, helping them align more fully with their divine purpose and fulfill their mission with excellence and grace. The fourth divine secret lies in understanding the balance between destiny and free will. Each of these moments is not meant to punish or discourage them, but to provide a sacred opportunity to practice free will in alignment with their divine purpose. The chosen ones learn that their destiny may be written in the stars, yet it is their free will that brings that destiny to life. Every decision they make, whether large or small, is a brushstroke on the canvas of their life, contributing to the broader picture of their purpose and mission. They come to understand that their life is not a rigid script to be followed blindly, but a dynamic and interactive process where each choice matters and has the potential to affect not only their own path, but also the lives of those around them. Through these experiences, the chosen ones cultivate a deeper awareness of the consequences of their actions, learning to act from a place of integrity, love, and alignment with divine guidance, rather than reacting impulsively to temporary emotions or external pressures. Closely linked to discernment and the exercise of free will is the development and trust in intuition. Intuition is often described as the voice of the soul, a direct line of communication between the chosen ones and the divine. It is through intuition that they receive guidance, insights, warnings, and understanding that help them navigate the complexities of life. For the chosen ones, intuition is not a mere helpful tool. It is an essential component of their spiritual journey. It allows them to perceive beyond the limitations of the rational mind, to see the deeper truth in situations, and to act in alignment with their highest purpose. Intuition can appear in many forms, including sudden flashes of insight, gut feelings, meaningful dreams, or synchronicities that feel too perfect to be coincidences. As the chosen ones practice listening and acting on their intuition, it becomes increasingly clear, reliable, and accurate, serving as a constant companion on their journey. The strengthening of intuition occurs as the chosen ones attune themselves more fully to the divine. By clearing away the distractions of the ego and the noise of the external world, they create the inner space necessary to hear the subtle messages of guidance. Learning to trust this inner guidance is a crucial lesson, particularly in a world that often prioritizes logic, reason, and external validation over inner knowing. It can be challenging to rely on something invisible and intangible. Yet the chosen ones learn that intuition is a sacred gift, a form of divine communication that transcends the limitations of human understanding. They are encouraged to honor this gift by listening attentively, responding thoughtfully, and taking action even when it defies conventional wisdom or popular opinion. Cultivating intuition requires deliberate practice and ongoing patience. The chosen ones strengthen their intuitive abilities through spiritual disciplines such as meditation, prayer, mindfulness, and reflective contemplation. These practices quiet the mind, allowing the subtle voice of the soul to be heard more clearly. They also deepen the connection to the divine, which is the ultimate source of all true guidance. Another critical aspect of this process is learning to differentiate the voice of intuition from the voice of the ego. The ego often speaks loudly, driven by fear, desire, insecurity, or attachment, while intuition is gentle, calm, and arises from a place of inner peace and clarity. By recognizing and trusting this difference, the chosen ones are able to make choices that align with their higher purpose and avoid being misled by superficial desires or momentary fears. As the chosen ones grow in trust and understanding of their intuition, they begin to experience how it guides them to the right people, situations, and opportunities at the most opportune moments. Intuition can help them avoid potential pitfalls, recognize hidden challenges, and take steps that ensure their path remains aligned with their divine mission. Beyond aiding their personal journey, intuition often serves a greater purpose, as the insights and understanding the chosen ones receive can be used to help others. Whether through offering guidance, sharing wisdom, or simply embodying light and love, their intuition becomes a means of serving humanity and the world, making them instruments of divine clarity and truth. By listening to and acting upon their intuitive guidance, the chosen ones fulfill their role as channels of divine wisdom, bringing insight, compassion, and illumination to those around them. Integral to the work of the chosen ones is the practice of service and selflessness. While spiritual gifts, inner guidance, and alignment with divine are essential components of their journey, their true purpose is revealed through how these abilities are used for the benefit of others. Service is not just a task or a series of actions. It is a core principle and a way of living that reflects the highest expression of their spiritual calling. In this context, service is inseparable from selflessness, which involves setting aside personal desires, ambitions, and comforts in order to fulfill a higher purpose. This does not mean neglecting oneself or abandoning personal needs entirely. Instead, it is an understanding that true fulfillment arises from contributing to the welfare and upliftment of others, from acting as an instrument of love, wisdom, and compassion in the world. The chosen ones recognize that their gifts and abilities are entrusted to them not for personal glory or recognition, but to serve humanity and to support the expansion of love, light, and spiritual awareness. Selflessness is not merely about performing charitable acts or adhering to moral principles. It is a way of being, a constant awareness that every action, no matter how small, carries the potential to impact the collective consciousness. Simple acts of kindness, sharing of wisdom, or daily expressions of compassion and love all contribute to a broader awakening and healing of the world. The chosen ones embody this understanding, committing themselves fully to service and the greater good, ensuring that their lives reflect the divine will in tangible and meaningful ways. One of the most profound expressions of service is the practice of presence. Being fully present with others, offering genuine attention, empathy, and understanding is itself a powerful form of service. By holding space for others without judgment, by listening deeply and responding with compassion, the chosen ones create an environment in which people feel seen, heard, and valued. This kind of presence can bring healing and transformation on a profound level, far beyond what words or actions alone could accomplish. Whether interacting in a leadership role, a community, a healing capacity, or simply in day-to-day encounters, their presence becomes a conduit of peace, love, and divine energy. Through this simple yet powerful act, they create spaces that nurture spiritual growth, emotional healing, and deep connection, reinforcing their role as instruments of divine will. Through service, selflessness, and the careful practice of discernment and intuition, the chosen ones find that their own spiritual growth is accelerated. Serving others cultivates qualities such as humility, patience, love, and compassion, which are essential for the further refinement of their soul. Service also has a purifying effect, helping them to release attachments to ego, fear, and personal desires. It aligns them more fully with their purpose and allows them to experience the joy and fulfillment that comes from acting in harmony with divine guidance. This ongoing process of giving, serving, and living selflessly not only benefits those around them, but also strengthens the chosen one's own connection to the divine. As they open their hearts and act as channels of divine energy, they receive and return spiritual abundance in the form of inner peace, clarity, purpose, and an ever-deepening relationship with the source of all life and wisdom. A healing role, or even just interacting with others in their community, provides the chosen ones with profound opportunities to grow spiritually, and the rewards of such service are deep and transformative. Service is not merely a task or an obligation. It is a way for the chosen ones to fulfill their mission in the world while simultaneously enriching their own spiritual journey. Through acts of service, they experience the profound joy that comes from giving selflessly, the fulfillment that arises when living in complete alignment with their purpose, and the deep satisfaction that comes from contributing to something far greater than themselves. These rewards are not of a material nature. They cannot be measured in money, possessions, or recognition. Instead, they are spiritual in nature, taking form as inner peace, a profound sense of connection to the divine, and the comforting knowledge that their actions, no matter how small, are making a meaningful and positive impact in the world around them. Each act of service, no matter how humble or quiet, carries a ripple effect that extends far beyond the immediate moment, touching lives, transforming hearts, and subtly shifting the collective consciousness toward greater harmony and love. In addition to these spiritual rewards, service has an inherently purifying effect on the soul. When the chosen ones focus on the needs, challenges, and well-being of others, they naturally begin to release attachment to their own ego-driven desires, fears, and ambitions. By putting the needs of others before the impulses of the self, they cultivate qualities such as humility, compassion, patience, and love. These virtues are not simply aspirational ideals, but essential characteristics for spiritual growth and maturity. In practicing selflessness, the chosen ones are able to move beyond the narrow confines of personal concerns. opening their hearts to a larger, more inclusive perspective that encompasses the welfare of others and aligns seamlessly with the divine will. In this way, service becomes both a means of fulfilling their divine mission and a profound path to their own spiritual enlightenment, as each act of giving opens them more fully to the flow of divine love and grace. The relationship between service and spiritual growth is reciprocal. As the chosen ones give of themselves, they simultaneously receive a profound spiritual abundance. This abundance is not material, nor can it be measured in conventional terms. It manifests as inner joy, clarity, a deep sense of purpose, and a continually strengthening connection to the divine. The more freely they give, the more their hearts open, and the deeper their capacity to receive spiritual insights, wisdom, and peace. This flow of giving and receiving mirrors the eternal rhythm of the universe itself, reflecting the principle that true spiritual wealth grows not by accumulation, but by release and selfless contribution. The chosen ones learn that by serving others without expectation, they participate directly in the unfolding of divine love, and in doing so, they experience a richness of spirit that cannot be found through personal ambition alone. An essential lesson of this service is that it aligns them with the broader spiritual plan, ensuring that their actions are meaningful and impactful. Service teaches patience and trust, as the chosen ones often have to give without immediate recognition or reward, and without knowing the full outcome of their efforts. Yet in this process, they learn that every act of love, kindness, or guidance contributes to the greater good, creating invisible threads of influence that extend far beyond what they can see or understand in the moment. The process of serving others teaches them to act with intention, integrity, and humility, and in doing so, they begin to embody the qualities of the divine itself. Closely connected to the practice of service is the principle of divine timing, which represents one of the most profound and sometimes challenging aspects of the chosen one's journey. Divine timing is the understanding that everything in life unfolds according to a higher order, one that is often beyond the comprehension of the human mind. While the chosen ones may feel an intense sense of urgency to fulfill their mission, to act, or to bring their gifts fully into the world, they must learn to trust that the right moments will present themselves according to the perfect plan of the divine. This timing may not coincide with their personal expectations, desires, or the immediate pressures of life, yet it is always aligned with the greater good, with the needs of the world, and with the opportunities that will maximize their impact. Learning to trust divine timing is therefore a central lesson in patience, surrender, and faith, as it requires them to release control and accept that the unfolding of their path is guided by forces greater than their own understanding. Periods of waiting, reflection, or seeming inaction are often part of the preparation process. During these times, the chosen ones are being tested, refined, and prepared for the significant tasks ahead. These pauses are not wasted moments, but are essential for the development of the skills, wisdom, and resilience necessary to fulfill their mission effectively. Just as a seed must remain in the soil for the proper time before it can sprout and grow, the chosen ones must allow themselves to be nurtured, guided, and strengthened by the divine before their full purpose can manifest in the world. These periods of gestation are critical, as they allow the chosen ones to integrate lessons learned, refine their understanding, and deepen their connection with their intuition and inner guidance. Divine timing also ensures that their actions, insights, and spiritual gifts are utilized at the moments when they will have the greatest effect. If they were to act too early or too late, their efforts could be less effective, or opportunities could be missed. By trusting in the timing of the divine, the chosen ones ensure that their contributions align with the larger unfolding of life, synchronizing their efforts with the needs of the world and those they are called to serve. This harmony allows their free will to operate most powerfully, producing outcomes that are both meaningful and transformational. The interplay between free will and divine timing is subtle yet profound, showing the chosen ones that their choices have the greatest effect when made in alignment with the higher order of life. The practice of trusting divine timing is closely tied to intuition. Through their inner guidance, the chosen ones can sense when to act and when to wait. This discernment requires a strong connection to their intuition, as well as the courage to follow it even when external pressures, social expectations, or logical reasoning seem to contradict what they feel is divinely guided. By learning to align their free will with divine timing, they experience moments when everything flows effortlessly, as though the universe itself is moving in harmony with their intentions. In these moments, opportunities appear at exactly the right time, relationships form in synchrony, and challenges are resolved in ways that seem almost miraculous. Conversely, there are times when obstacles, delays, or unforeseen difficulties occur, signaling that it is not yet time for action. These periods are equally important, reminding the chosen ones to slow down, reassess, and continue trusting the unfolding plan of the divine. The practice of divine timing teaches patience in a world that often values speed, immediacy, and instant result. It helps the chosen ones cultivate the ability to wait, to trust, and to surrender to the natural flow of life without resistance or anxiety. Through this practice, they learn that everything they require for their mission, whether resources, people, opportunities, or insights, will arrive at the perfect moment. Nothing is ever truly lost or missed when one is in alignment with divine timing. This understanding allows the chosen ones to move through life with grace, confidence, and a profound sense of peace, knowing that their journey is guided and supported by the divine at every step. Bringing together the teachings of service and divine timing, the chosen ones begin to see the interconnectedness of all 7 divine secrets. Each secret, from the call to the heart, the purification process, the awakening of spiritual gifts, the balance between destiny and free will, the cultivation of intuition, the practice of service to the understanding of divine timing, is not a separate lesson, but a piece of a larger, interwoven framework. Together, these secrets form the foundation of the spiritual journey, guiding the chosen ones through the challenges, triumphs, and responsibilities that accompany their call. The process of being chosen is never simple or linear. It is a journey of continuous growth, evolution, and alignment with divine purpose. One of the most important realizations for the chosen ones is that the divine secrets are deeply interconnected. For example, the purification of the soul directly influences the awakening of spiritual gifts, as a purified heart and mind are more receptive to the energies and insights of the divine. Similarly, the cultivation of intuition is enhanced through periods of selfless service, as the focus on others helps to quiet the ego and attune the chosen ones to subtle spiritual frequencies. The interplay of free will with divine timing further illustrates this interconnectedness, showing how choices made in alignment with spiritual principles can create profound, harmonious outcomes. Each secret builds upon the others, creating a dynamic, living framework that supports the chosen ones as they navigate the path of their spiritual mission. Through the practice of service, the trust in divine timing, the cultivation of intuition, and the ongoing refinement of their free will, the chosen ones are equipped to navigate a world that often presents distractions, challenges, and conflicting priorities. Each lesson and secret contributes to a holistic understanding of their role as channels of the divine, capable of bringing clarity, love, wisdom, and transformation to the lives of others. They learn that their mission is both personal and collective, as their growth, insight, and actions inevitably influence the wider world. The interconnectedness of these divine principles ensures that the chosen ones do not merely act in isolation, but are continuously supported and guided by a higher order, allowing their efforts to ripple outward in alignment with the greater good. The balance between destiny and free will plays a very important role in how the chosen ones live their lives and engage in service. Every choice they make has the potential to shape the way they fulfill their divine mission. Their free will allows them to make decisions, but destiny provides the guiding framework within which those decisions can be most meaningful. In essence, the chosen ones are constantly learning how to make choices that serve both their personal growth and the greater purpose that has been entrusted to them. Even though the path may sometimes feel solitary, the chosen ones are never truly alone. They are part of a larger community of awakened souls who are also seeking to fulfill their divine purpose. This support may come through direct guidance from mentors, encouragement from spiritual communities, or the unseen presence of divine beings who walk alongside them. These connections provide the chosen ones with strength, reassurance, and inspiration, reminding them that their journey, while unique, is part of a greater movement of spiritual awakening and collective evolution. Knowing that they are supported allows the chosen ones to move forward with confidence, trusting that every step they take is guided and protected by a higher wisdom. Embracing the role of a chosen one requires a deep and conscious acceptance of both the gifts and responsibilities that come with it. Acceptance is not always easy because it calls for humility, the understanding that the gifts they possess are not meant for personal gain or recognition, but for the service of others. It requires courage, as they must face challenges and trials that test their commitment, perseverance, and faith. And above all, it requires love. Love for the divine, love for humanity, and love for themselves as expressions of the divine. Walking this path often means facing situations that others may find difficult, impossible, or uncomfortable. The chosen ones are called to embody the highest spiritual virtues, to act as beacons of light in a world that can sometimes feel chaotic, dark, or uncertain. It is a weighty responsibility, yet it is one for which they have been divinely prepared. Every experience, every challenge, and every act of service contributes to the strengthening of their spiritual character and the unfolding of their divine mission. The journey of a chosen one is not measured by perfection, but by authenticity, growth, and the willingness to continually realign with divine will. Mistakes are inevitable, and difficulties are part of the process, but each of these experiences provides a chance for deeper understanding, greater alignment, and stronger faith. Over time, the cumulative effect of living in this way creates a profound ripple effect. The actions, presence, and insights of the chosen ones influence others, inspiring them to embark on their own spiritual journeys. The example of a life lived in alignment with divine principles serves as a beacon, guiding countless souls toward greater awareness, compassion, and love. In this way, the work of the chosen ones extends far beyond their immediate surroundings, contributing to the spiritual awakening and evolution of humanity as a whole. The ripple effect created by the chosen ones demonstrates that their mission is not solely for personal fulfillment or individual achievement. Every act of kindness, every moment of attentive presence, and every effort to align with divine purpose contributes to a larger, collective transformation. Their work creates waves of change that extend beyond the visible, touching lives in ways that may not always be immediately apparent. By embodying the divine secrets and living with integrity, compassion, and love, the chosen ones leave a lasting legacy of spiritual wisdom, healing, and enlightenment. Each choice and action becomes a thread in the fabric of a greater story, a story in which the divine expresses itself through human lives committed to love and service. At the heart of the chosen one's journey lies the ultimate fulfillment, union with the divine. This union is not merely a distant goal or final destination. It is an ongoing experience, a state of being in which they are fully aligned with their divine purpose. Every thought, word, and action becomes infused with divine love and wisdom, and their life becomes a living expression of spiritual truth. Union with the divine is both the path and the destination. As the chosen ones deepen their connection, they continue to grow, evolve, and discover ever more profound aspects of their spiritual nature. This is a journey of infinite possibilities in which the divine continually reveals new layers of truth, beauty, and love. This union brings a profound sense of peace, fulfillment, and assurance. The chosen ones come to know that they are exactly where they are meant to be, doing exactly what they are meant to do. They understand that their actions, no matter how small, are part of a larger divine plan, and that their presence in the world contributes to the well-being and spiritual evolution of others. The knowledge of being part of this greater purpose allows them to move through life with confidence, grace, and a deep sense of peace, knowing that their work has lasting meaning. As we reflect on the path of the chosen ones and the 7 divine secrets that guide their journey, it becomes clear that this is a path of profound meaning, responsibility, and opportunity. The chosen ones are called to live lives of selfless service, to continually align with divine will, and to trust in the mysteries of intuition and divine timing. Their journey is not easy, but it is deeply rewarding, offering spiritual growth, insight, and the chance to make a meaningful contribution to the world. The chosen ones are torchbearers, bringing light, love, and wisdom into a world that often desperately needs it. Even in moments of doubt, challenge, or solitude, they are never alone. The divine walks with them, guiding, supporting, and sustaining them every step of the way. By embracing this path, the chosen ones fulfill their highest potential and become instruments of love, light, and divine purpose in the world.